Her phone rang at 11:47 p.m. She picked it up before the second ring. His voice came through warm and low, like he had been thinking about what to say for a long time. "Helen," he said, "I love you." She smiled so wide her cheeks hurt. She whispered it back. They stayed on the line for another hour, talking about nothing and everything, until she fell asleep with the phone still in her hand. When she woke up the next morning, she texted him good morning. No reply. She tried again at noon, then at 3, then cold, straight to voicemail. By midnight, his phone was off completely. By the end of the week, it was like Daniel Wright had never existed at all. It started 6 months earlier, the way most things start now. A DM. Helen had posted a photo from her friend's rooftop birthday party. Nothing special, just her laughing, head thrown back, city light behind her. Within an hour, a message appeared. "That laugh looks expensive. Who taught you how to do that?" She almost didn't reply. She didn't know him. His profile showed a man in his early 30s, clean-cut, kind eyes, not trying too hard. Daniel Wright, Lagos, by way of London, according to his bio. She replied anyway. Just one line. "Life did. You should try it sometime." That was a Tuesday. By Friday, they had been talking for 6 hours straight. He asked questions and actually waited for the answers. He remembered small things she mentioned in passing, her mother's name, the job interview she was nervous about, the song she said reminded her of being 17. He brought them back into conversation days later, like he had been carrying them. "You actually listen," she told him one evening. "Of course I do," he said. "You're the most interesting person I've talked to in years." She laughed it off, but she saved the message. By month 2, the calls had replaced the texts. She'd wake up tired from staying up until 2 a.m. and not care at all. He made plans. Real ones, or what felt real. A restaurant he wanted to take her to. A trip to Accra before the year ended. He talked about meeting her family like it was already decided. "You're moving fast," her best friend Henry warned her one afternoon. "It's consistent," Helen said. "There's a difference." "Is he though? Do you actually know where he works?" Helen paused for just a second. He had mentioned finance, a firm, something about contracts and travel. She had never pushed and he had never offered details, but at the time that hadn't felt strange. "I know who he is. Henry. That's enough." But somewhere, quietly, a small thing shifted. She started noticing the moments he changed the subject. A question about his family, and suddenly he was asking about Hayes, where exactly he lived, always around Lekki, never an address, never an invitation over. She filed each thing away without fully examining it, because it is very easy to ignore small shadows when the light feels that warm. The night he said it, they had been on the phone for 2 hours. They weren't talking about anything heavy. She was walking through her kitchen. He was laughing at something she said about her neighbor's cat, and then suddenly he went quiet. "Daniel. Sorry." A pause. "I was just thinking." "About what?" Another pause. Longer. "About how I've never felt this comfortable with anyone in my life. About how I think about you in the middle of the day for no reason. About how—" He stopped, started again. "I love you, Helen. I just needed you to know that." She stood in her kitchen, one hand gripping the counter, and felt something unlock in her chest. "I love you too," she said, and she meant every syllable. He told her he'd call first thing in the morning. He did not call in the morning. At first she thought something had come up. A meeting. A flight. He'd mentioned travel before. She texted, "Good morning, sun with face." Nothing. She called at noon. Voicemail. She kept her voice light, breezy, like she wasn't already beginning to panic. By evening she called again. The voicemail box was full. She went to his Instagram. The profile was still there. Last post, 3 weeks ago. No stories. No activity. She scrolled through his followers looking for anyone she recognized and found almost no one they had in common. She had always assumed different social circles. Now the absence felt deliberate. She texted Henry at 10 p.m., his not picking up, like, at all. Henry replied immediately. "Since when?" "Since this morning. And last night he told me, Henry, he said he loved me." A long pause. Then, "Come over. Now." Helen didn't sleep that night. She replayed the call until it stopped feeling real. His voice, the pause before he said it, the way it sounded like he meant it. Had it all been a performance? Had she been that easy? By day 3, Helen was no longer waiting. She was looking. She typed his name into Google. A LinkedIn came up, sparse, barely filled out. The company he listed had a website that looked like it hadn't been updated in 2 years. No address, no staff page. She drove to the area he described, around Lekki Phase 1, near the waterfront, without an address, without a plan. She drove slowly anyway, like something might recognize her. Nothing, of course. She tracked down a mutual online acquaintance named Kimi. Do you actually know Daniel Wright? Know him? No. He followed me like a year ago. Commented a few times. Why? Helen's stomach dropped. She went back through his Instagram comments and found her, a woman named Evelyn, who had written 8 months ago, still waiting on that call you promised smiley face. The comment had no reply. Helen clicked on Evelyn's profile, sent a DM. The reply came in less than an hour. Oh God, Evelyn wrote. Not you too. They were on the phone within minutes. Evelyn's voice was flat, the way voices go when they've already done the crying. He told me he loved me in March, Evelyn said. Disappeared the next day. I spent 2 months convinced something terrible had happened to him. I was genuinely worried. And then I found another woman. Same story, same man, same lines, same timing, same vanishing act. It's what he does. I don't know if it's lonely or broken or cruel, but it is what he does. Helen sat very still for a long time after she hung up. She was trying to hold 2 things at once, the grief of losing something real, and the understanding that it had never been real at all. Or maybe it had been, in the only fractured way he knew how. She would never know, and that was the part that cut deepest, not the lies, but the permanent uncertainty, the question she would never be able to answer. She thought about that phone call, the pause before he said it, the way his voice dropped, like he was confessing something he had been holding a long time. She thought, what kind of person says I love you the night before they disappear? What exactly are they saying goodbye to? Months later, Helen told the story at dinner with friends. She told it calmly. She even laughed at parts of it. But at the end she went quiet, and one of her friends asked, do you think he ever actually loved you? Even a little? Helen picked up her glass, took a slow sip. I think, she said carefully, that he loved the feeling of being loved, and I was just a person giving it to him that season. A pause. But I also think that somewhere inside all of it, the late nights, the plans, the way he remembered every single thing I said, I think some of it was real. And honestly, that's the saddest part of all.
So I need you to tell me something. Do you think a person can do all of that, say all of that, and feel absolutely nothing? Or is that just the story we tell ourselves so we can sleep at night? If you enjoyed this story and want more emotional, mysterious, and real-life inspired content like this, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. And let me know in the comments.